I'd like to call to order the 39th Annual Scholarship Award Night for the Legacy Scholarship Fund. My name is Neil Howell. I have the privilege of being the president of the Scholarship Fund. I'll explain how I got involved with that in a little bit. But we start every year by doing two things. We ask that you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we ask that you remain standing for a moment of silence for those that are memory we're awarding scholarships tonight. So at this time, please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then if you would remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. As I mentioned, I'm Neil Howell. I got involved with the organization because of a couple things. One, I was an educator in the district. For 23 years, I taught at Clifford Smart Middle School, coached over there as well. Upon retirement, I continued my employment. This is my 32nd year with Lynch & Sons in Walled Lake. I facilitate our monthly bereavement support group and talk to many of the families that are going to be awarding scholarships here tonight. But the main reason that I became president of Legacy Scholarship is I cannot say no to Barb Garbett. Barb Garbett was the president of Legacy Scholarship, and she said, Neil, would you? And I said, Barb, I'd be honored. She could have said, could you stop by and take my cans to the curb? But she asked me to take, and it is my honor. Let's have a round of applause for Barb Garbett, please. I'd like to introduce the board. Gail Weekland, Vice President. Gail was a longtime teacher at Walled Lake L. She said when she retired, this would be the last group of seniors, of kids that she had who would receive scholarships tonight, and I hope you see some of your students up here. Treasurer is Mary Remersma. Mary was a longtime teacher over at Western, and many of you know shorthand, it's become a Mary. She taught that kind of stuff. Sandy George is the Secretary of Legacy Scholarship. Sandy works for Community Ed, and there's a scholarship in her son's Tyler's memory. We have two at-large members, Richard Perry. Richard Perry will be been with us a long time. There's an award in his son Jonathan's memory. And last year, like you parents sitting up there, Jean Buller, who retired as an outstanding science teacher at Clifford Smart, was proud when her son received an award and thought this is something that she wanted to get involved with. So they're both members at large, and we're glad to have them. Now, the way that this is going to work, we're going to divide the scholarship night into 6 parts. Student memorial scholarships, school staff memorials, community scholarships, retired school staff scholarships, schools and educational staff. The last part is high school athletic scholarships. Those are not full ride based on success on athletics. That's being members of a team where certain teams are given awards through their participation in that, and those awards are passed out at their banquets, not here tonight. And we're also very proud tonight to welcome WLTV, and some of the parents and other relatives who aren't able to make it tonight, WLTV is going to be broadcasting it down the road, so please stay tuned to WLTV, and thank you for being here. So at this time, I'm going to ask in order the Student Memorial Scholarship presenters, if you would come up, please. And we will have you arrange yourselves in order of the program. While they're coming up, I'd like to say, if you look at, first of all, the programs tonight, we'd like to thank Lynch & Sons Funeral Home in Walled Lake for donating, covering the cost of our programs that all of you have tonight. The inside back page, 39 years ago, well, when it started, it says 2001, awarded $44,000. Tonight in 2019, almost $100,000 is going to be awarded tonight. So in 30 years, $1.75 million has been awarded. And it's going to start with a gentleman who's going to tell you about his son, Chris, Seth Lampe.
Well, thank you for the applause. It's I guess it's my pleasure to be here. I've been here 39 times now, and I've always been the lead-off presenter. Part of that was by default because it was the first scholarship fund in the organization. But it's been 39 years ago at this high school where the student body got to work with car washes and bottle return drives and began to raise the first dollars to give to the first students who were asking to memorialize my son. Christopher was out here on the track and laid down, died in front of the whole student body. That's tough. This is before there were grievance counselors. The school really came through. We started a scholarship fund. Nobody had any idea it was going to grow to what it is today. 1,700,000 is. Anybody here know how many pop bottles that is? That's a lot of bottles. Well, 2 years later, Bernie Stafford, the track coach at Walled Lake Western, passed away, and his wife and I got together in the parking lot right outside, and we started a corporation called the Central Scholarship Funds, which then changed its name to Legacy Scholarship Funds. And I was hearing people in the audience asking, what is this organization? Well, it's a charity, and it's a nonprofit charity, and the IRS has granted the group a 501c3, which means if you give any money to this charity, you can write it off on your income taxes. But the purpose was to actually provide an umbrella for other people who didn't have the wherewithal to start a charity. And so this organization has, over the 39 years, been the umbrella organization for, I'm gonna guess, 80, 90 scholarships. Some of them have passed by and given away all their money and gone out of business, but we provide their contributors with a tax deductibility. So anyway, we've been around an awful long time. And every time I stand up here and give this leadoff pitch, I do a little bit of marketing, but that's not to ask for donations. Donations just seem to keep pouring in. What I'm asking is that interested parents here see that what we do is good work and volunteer to help us do that. This is a very unusual charity. It's one of the very few that is entirely volunteer run. When you look around at the people who run it, our 39-year history is more often than not reflected in their gray hairs. This year, for the first time, I'm comfortable talking about gray hair because the original scholarship, the Chris Lampe Memorial, has itself acquired some gray hairs. It may now be called the granddaddy of scholarships. Andrew O'Boyle, are you here tonight? Could you come on up? And while you're coming up, I need to say that Andrew is the reason we can call the Chris Lampe Memorial a granddaddy. Ann O'Boyle, are you here? Can you stand and just wave a little bit? There she is back there. Actually, she's the real reason. Ann Cunningham was her name then. She went to Clifford Smart in Walled Lake Central with my son Christopher, and she was herself eligible to apply for the scholarship. The significance of that is now Andrew, the offspring of an eligible applicant, is applying and this time winning. Thanks, Ann. Andrew is finishing his student days in Walled Lake with a respectable GPA and proud of an occasional 4.0 semester. I'm sure he worked hard for that, but his harder work is ahead. He wants to study mechanical engineering and has applied to Alabama, Purdue, Kettering, Michigan Tech, Michigan State, tough schools. and several of them have accepted you. Well, I look forward to you telling me a few years from now, maybe 4 years, and say that mechanical engineering is still the toughest engineering curriculum. A fine musician. He's been a member of the Walled Lake Central Marching Band, not 4 years, but 6, starting back in middle school. For 4 years, he was also a member of the Walled Lake Percussion Group. He went to competitions 3 times a month in the winter months and learned more than 10 different instruments along the way. Andrew's also a fine citizen, working his way up through the ranks of Boy Scouts to earn the highly coveted Eagle rank. His Eagle project had him working with MSU Tollgate Farm in Novi, constructing various team building equipment. Add to that volunteering time with Habitat for Humanity and Hospitality House in Walled Lake, and our community is about to lose an excellent asset. We can hope he achieves his goal of an engineering job in the auto industry and comes back to live in the district. Andrew, thank you. Nice to meet you. This is for you.
Thank you. I'm going to have you stand right.
Now, this might be as good a time as any to tell Andrew and everybody else that when you open that envelope, there's no money in it. There are, however, instructions for how to get the money, and you should read them.
That's true. Thank you.
Good evening. 6.5 years ago, when the students in this room were in 6th grade, Michael David Camilleri, a senior standout at Walled Lake Western High School, took his own life, shocking his family, friends, and the entire community. Michael was just 17 years old. He was my son's best friend, and he was in the Walled Lake Western class of 2013. Michael was kind, respectful, captain and MVP of the varsity soccer team, a star baseball player, voted homecoming king, and an excellent student with the highest possible GPA, who no doubt would be sitting in these same seats that you all sit in now. This scholarship was created by Michael's friends and families to keep Michael's memory alive. And it's to be awarded to students with strong academics who earned an athletic varsity letter and as a positive role model to others. On behalf of the Camilleri family, I present the Michael Camilleri Memorial Scholarship Award to the following 3 recipients from Walled Lake Western class of 2019. Brandon Gonzalez, Madeline Breen, and Sarah Rochelle, if you could come up. Brandon is a clear leader, well-liked and respected by his peers. He was elected president of NHS on the track and field cross-country teams, chosen as captain of freshman, JV, and varsity soccer teams, voted homecoming king, and also an IB diploma student with a GPA of 4.174. Wow. Brandon plans to be a biomedical engineer so that he can create his own business to produce and provide affordable healthcare equipment around the world. Have you decided on the college?
Michigan State.
Go green. Athletics and education have helped Brandon keep focused, work hard, and see the world through different perspectives. His motto is to never stop working and always be working hard, even if the road ahead is difficult. As captain of each and every soccer team he played on, he not only was awarded the best midfielder and forward, but he mentored other players, earned their trust, and worked hard alongside them every step of the way, helping them prepare physically and mentally for the game. Being humble and respectful are important qualities for Brandon. His favorite community service activity was being a summer camp counselor because he brought joy to the kids and helped them have an amazing summer. Congratulations to an amazing young man, Brandon Gonzalez. Is it Maddie? Okay. Maddie Breen. She's one of a triplet. The girl of a triplet, yes. Maddie, congratulations on that. Maddie demonstrates leadership and dedication to her school, teams, and community. She plans to become a nurse practitioner so that she can make an impact in the world. Have you decided on the college?
Grand Valley.
Okay. Lakers? Yes, go Lakers. She earned 9 varsity letters, 4 years varsity cross country and track, and 1 year varsity ski team. With a GPA over 4.0, she is a member of the Women's Empowerment Club and NHS. As captain of the girls' cross-country team, she took pride in uniting a team and creating an environment of respect, hard work, and camaraderie, stressing that underclassmen runners were just as important as the more experienced in strengthening a team and working towards success. The night before a cross-country meet, Maddie would host a pasta party with food and games at her house and for the entire team to build their friendships and to bond as a team. This created many memories, but also a positive team morale and willingness of all teammates to make the team the best they could be. She also volunteers a lot to help the less fortunate. She even donates her own blood regularly to help people in the community who are sick or injured. Congratulations to this amazing young woman, Maddie. Congratulations. And last but not least, Sarah Rochelli. She's a 4-year varsity basketball player, captain of the team, vice president of student leadership with a 4.0 GPA who regularly volunteers in the community. Sarah plans a career to contribute to the betterment of the world, either political science, law, or education. School? Michigan State. Oh, go green. As vice president of student leadership, she learned valuable life lessons such as how to approach disagreements with other bright students with an open mind, how to express opinions appropriately without demeaning others, as well as to appreciate and respect others' views. Having 3 different basketball coaches in a 3-year period was challenging, but taught Sarah how to adapt to various demands and expectations, to be a good sport and team player and excel as an athlete. Sarah believes it's important to stay humble when winning or losing. In a regional playoff game filled with tension and emotions, she faced a team that included many of her friends who she used to play on a team with. Sarah's team won that game, and they were celebrating on the court when she glanced over at her opponents who were very sad and crying. In the midst of Sarah's moment of victory, she went over to the losing team to console them and congratulate them on their hard work. Winning with humility and appreciation for the feelings of the opponent is what true sportsmanship means to Sarah. Congratulations to this deserving young woman, Sarah.
I'm Maureen Collins. I'm Sean's mom. The recipients of Sean's Memorial Scholarship this year know that I'm not big on speeches unless I'm yelling at you about your costuming. They're both academically excellent, but better than that, they're really, really great people. They never miss an opportunity to come and offer to help during our musical season when we are crazy busy with sewing and trying to get people fitted, and in addition to being ridiculously talented, and Josh will literally make me cry when he sings. So without further ado, I don't do speeches. The Sean Collins Memorial Scholarship recipients this year are Sarah Schiffer and Josh Thomas.
Good evening. My name is Stacy Drypen Catagnani. I'm here along with my sister, Shannon Drypen Matthews, and our parents, Bill and Dolores Drypen. We're here to present the John Drypen Memorial Scholarship. John was our baby brother, and he was a graduate of Walled Lake Central in the year 2000. He was fun-loving, amazingly charismatic human being who made the world a better place in just the short time that he was here. John passed away from complications of a genetic disease at age 22. We will be giving out 3 scholarships this year, and we choose our recipients based on their ability to overcome adversity, and we choose individuals who strive to help the community and want to make the world a better place, despite having faced life-altering events. All of our recipients have persevered through challenging experiences, and they are strong and determined.
We will be giving 3 scholarships this year, and we chose our, we already read that part? Yeah. Sorry about that. I have to know my script better. So our first recipient is from Walled Lake Central, Miss Megan Bolda. If you want to come on up. Megan has participated in Student Council, she is in National Honor Society, and she has contributed to numerous charity events. Megan also represented Walled Lake Central on the girls' golf and tennis teams. Megan is interested in becoming an occupational therapist for children one day, and she plans on attending Grand Valley State or Michigan State University. Did you decide? Michigan State. Michigan State. Congratulations, Megan. Our next recipient is from Walled Lake Western, Celia Mann. If you want to come on up. Celia is interested in pursuing a career in criminal justice, hoping to be a forensics detective or a defense attorney. She has participated in both track and cross country, and her plan is to go to either Michigan State University or Central Michigan University. Did you decide on that?
Yeah, I'm staying home for a little bit.
Okay.
Then I'm probably Michigan State.
All right. Congratulations, Celia. Our third recipient is from Walled Lake Northern, Haley McFarland. Let me come on up. Haley is also interested in pursuing a career in criminal justice with the possibility of becoming a social worker. She's talented in art and would like to study at Central, Eastern, Oakland, or Northern Michigan University. Did you make a choice? Central Michigan. Congratulations, Haley.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John Lewandowski, counselor at Walled Lake Central High School, and the first legacy scholarship that I'm going to be awarding today is for the David Dursey Memorial Class of 1987 Scholarship. This scholarship was founded in 1987, and it honors David Dursey, a member of the class of 1987 Central High School, who died in an automobile accident in 1986. The scholarship recognizes good attitude, citizenship, commitment, and sportsmanship. This year's recipient is Geethika Bodanapu. Geethika will be attending Boston University. She is highly dedicated to giving back to her community. When she heard a peer was in need of a bone marrow transplant, she volunteered to organize a transplant match drive for him where hundreds of possible donors showed up for testing. Let's give it up for that. That's a huge thing, a bone marrow drive transplant. She was also the Walled Lake Central varsity tennis JV captain for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grades. She has volunteered for the past 9 years at her former elementary school. She's been working with a few struggling first grade students about once or twice a week in reading comprehension, basic math facts, handwriting, social skills, and confidence building. She is a current member of the Pala Foundation, which is dedicated to saving premature babies with weak lungs. One day she hopes to start an NGO that focuses on making healthcare and medicine more available to those in need throughout the world. Wow.
Good evening, I'm Dorothy Friedel. I'm representing Scott Walter Friedel's Memorial Fund. It is with a great deal of pleasure to present a $500 scholarship in memory of both Scott and his father, Walter Friedel, this evening. One of Scott's wishes was to have an autopsy taken to help someone else. Since the coroner is only able to do autopsies to determine the cause of death, our family decided to establish a scholarship fund in Scott's memory to provide financial assistance to a graduating senior from one of the 3 Walled Lake High Schools whose career goal is in keeping with the criteria of the fund, which is medical research. Since Scott's father was instrumental in establishing this fund, we are honoring his memory tonight also. My husband has his 16-year journey with Parkinson's disease ended this past January 27th. Stephen and I lost 2 of our family in just 2.5 years. The scholarship fund was established at the end of 2016 through the generosity of so many people. They are both up in heaven tonight, seeing an incredible young lady from Walled Lake Central whose career goal is to become a pediatric neurologist, receiving this year's scholarship. Please welcome Raya Gadandi. In her own words, I would like to quote, "This scholarship regarding medical research holds a special place in my heart due to my own experience with a friend who suffers from epilepsy seizures. She sparked the interest of neuroscience and cognitive impairment with me, and seeing her suffer firsthand led me to believe I had the interest and potential to partake in research and help unfold the modern scientific mysteries such as autism and other medical problems that remain unsolved and continue to affect people every day. Raya, your parents and your sister have to be very proud of you tonight. And we all wish you the very best, and we pray that you will we look forward to hearing from you in the future.
Hello again. The next scholarship is the Joey Gutkian Memorial. It was established in 2008. This scholarship was created by family, friends, and students/staff of Community High School to honor his memory. He was a member of the class of 2007 who lost his life in a motorcycle accident. This scholarship recognizes a student who plans to further his or her education. Starting in 2012, this award is presented to an Oakland Opportunity Academy graduate. And unfortunately, the advisor from OOA, Mrs. Hosley, was not able to be here, but she sends her best wishes, and she wrote the following person won. This person is Gianna Harbin. So Gianna Harbin, you're the winner. So if you're here, come on up. And she wrote that Gianna is from Central High School. She's a wonderful young lady who came to us junior year during the 2017-18 school year. Gianna was significantly behind, but once at OOA, she was focused and determined to catch up. She excelled last year at culinary and her academic cores, and not only caught up, but she started the fall semester as a senior. Gianna completed all of her requirements to earn a diploma a semester early, so that means she graduated in January. She is currently working 2 jobs, and she is on a path where she's going to work with children and will be pursuing a CNA certification. We at the OOA are extremely proud of her accomplishments, so let's give a hand for Gianna. Yes, probably working one of her 2 jobs. Thanks, Neil. All right, our next is the Heritage Memorial Scholarship, and we have 2 of those. Dave Waltz will be presenting the second one. The first Heritage Memorial Scholarship is going to Carson Kipp, and from what I understand, Carson is playing baseball right now, but his father did pick up the scholarship. So I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit about what they say about Carson. But before I do, this scholarship was founded in 1996. It's a combined scholarship that honors several area residents, included are the funds of the Florkowskis, Swakeel, Lakuta, Schneider, Carlson, and McGee families, as well as Central High School alumni. The scholarship recognizes improved scholarship attitude and ambition. And as I said, Carson Kipp is our recipient. He will be attending Michigan State University School of Engineering, where he plans on earning a bachelor's degree in either mechanical or aerospace engineering, with a long-term goal of receiving a master's degree in aerospace engineering. And further on with Carson, Carson is an outstanding student carrying a 4.357 GPA. He's participated in many sports and activities, including playing baseball, which he's doing now, for all 4 years here at Central. He's also a member of the WLCWU hockey team his junior year. During his sophomore year, he wrote for the school newspaper and went on to become its editor. He's a member of our National Honor Society and was awarded the LVC Student Athlete Award for his junior year baseball and hockey season, and was an LVC All-Conference First Team for the 2018 baseball season. So let's give him a quick hand. And next up is Dave Waltz from Walled Lake Western.
Okay, my name is Dave Walzak. I'm a counselor at Walled Lake Western. If I could call Jessica Ratner to the stage right now. Jessica is a 4-year member of the Western volleyball team and served as a varsity team captain. She was a member of the ski team, which she also captained the past 2 seasons. A 4.333 student, she is a member of the National Honor Society. She is also a member of student activities and an IB diploma candidate who plans to major in marketing or international business in college. It's my pleasure to present the Heritage Memorial Scholarship to Western's Jessica Ratner.
Good evening. My name's Greg Diamond. I am the principal at Walled Lake Northern. This year, Walled Lake Northern's recipient of the Heritage Memorial is Brianna Schmidt. Is Brianna here? Come on up. Brianna has been extremely active over the past 4 years at Walled Lake Northern. Some of her extracurricular activities include chamber orchestra, pit orchestra, German club, German exchange, and National Honor Society. While on NHS, Brianna was the chair for the tutoring committee. Brianna shared that she is most proud of her ability to juggle work, school, and extracurricular activities in an effective manner. Brianna plans on attending Brigham Young University in Idaho in the fall. She will major in history and minor in music. Brianna, post-secondary plans, she hopes to attain a PhD in history and become a history professor. She would also like to continue to perform musically while working on her post-secondary plans. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name's Rachel Kalka, and I'm a member of the class of 1993 from Walled Lake Central. You see up here with me several people because tonight is an inaugural award that we're giving out, the very first one in memory of one of my classmate. This is Chris's mom, here's Sherry, his sister Barb, and my dad, who has helped to coordinate the scholarship. Chris was a wonderful person, and our class decided to establish this award in his honor after his untimely passing in 2015. Chris was an incredible person, always had a smile on his face, a great athlete, and for those of you who passed the Athletic Hall of Fame, Chris is a member of the class that was inducted several years ago in 2017 for the men's basketball team. We wanted to establish a scholarship to honor a scholar athlete that was graduating from Walled Lake Central who embodied all the characteristics of what Chris was. Chris's untimely passing is deeply painful, as you can tell, for all of us, and I'm very proud to be up here on behalf of my classmates who still continue his Facebook page and post many memories of him. We are very honored to be able to give away the inaugural award to Nolan Wall. Nolan. Nolan embodies so many of the characteristics of Chris that this was a natural selection for us. He's been a member of the marching band for 4 years, a true scholar athlete, having been on the swimming team for 4 years. And Nolan himself has faced much adversity after his dad passed away when he was 12 years old. Nolan, I'm sure your mom is here, Jennifer. You wrote very much about Jennifer and how much you reliced your relationship with her and how much she supported you as a single parent. And Chris had a very special relationship with his mom. And so it is our pleasure to give you this award and wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kelly, and this is my father, David, and we will be presenting the winning recipient with the first ever Angela Martin Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship is in honor of my older sister, Angela, who attended and graduated from Walled Lake Central as part of the 2007 class. My family and I started this scholarship to honor her memory and mission to help others and make an impact on the community as she passed away in July of 2014 from an accidental heroin overdose. Addiction is a misunderstood, stigmatized disease, so we started an annual benefit concert and fundraiser almost 5 years ago called Angel Wings for Angie to raise funds for those currently struggling with addiction seeking treatment, to provide prevention and awareness in our community of the dangers of opioids, as well as to fund this memorial scholarship to help those graduating from high school and wishing to continue their education in college while also encouraging a healthy and drug-free lifestyle. With that being said, we ask those who's applied to this scholarship to share with us any personal obstacle or difficult situation they have faced in their lives and how they were able to overcome it. We received so many heartfelt and personal stories and would like to thank you all for sharing those with us. We were extremely touched and felt honored to have had the opportunity to read of your experiences of perseverance and strength. With that being said, it was a very hard decision. We wish we could give you all a scholarship, but we did have to narrow it down to one candidate. The 2019 Angela Martin Memorial Scholarship recipient is Liam McWilliams, who is Liam is graduating from Walled Lake Central as a part of the 2019 senior class. Liam has been on the honor roll from his sophomore to senior year. He was also a section leader in marching band his junior and senior years, as well as part of the marching band all 4 years of high school. Thank you all again for your entries and for helping us to honor and remember my sister, Angie. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Rich Perry. I would first like to congratulate the class of 2019. Second, I'd like to congratulate particularly the members of the class who are here tonight. Third, I would like to applaud the parents and the guardians and all those people who have made the success of these young people. And fourth, I would like to ask Kyle Beal to join me up here. The Jonathan Day Memorial Scholarship was established to celebrate the life and to honor the memory of our son. The scholarship reflects the ideals of a young man who achieved personally and academically. It is meant to recognize a student who believes that education is a path to a better and brighter tomorrow. It is a testament for those who set course and pursue their goals. The scholarship champions the principles of integrity, equality, and good citizenship. I am delighted to present this year's scholarship to Kyle, who by anybody's definition has set the benchmark for achieving, competing, helping, and giving. He has devoted himself to excel academically, to be an excellent representative for his school and community, the self-discipline and self-assurance he has shown either in debate, tutoring, volunteering, or school service is most commendable. All while serving as Vice President of the Model United Nations, President, Vice President, and District Chair of the school's Interact Club, supported by the Rotary, as well as founding the Mock Trial Group. He is an active member of the National Honor Society, where his leadership qualities benefit everyone. His energy and positive outlook will surely assist him in achieving his goals at MSU, where he plans on receiving a degree in business and ultimately becoming an attorney. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle. Thank you. Yes, I have it. You're on the Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sandy George. This is my son, Austin Richards. This guy belongs to us. And as you can see by that crooked little smile, that kid had a love for life. And in his junior year, a little distraction, got in a car accident and lost his life. Even though that happened, there's still a lot of things that have come out of this. His friends and his family have stood by us for the last 15 years as we've gone through this journey. And students, never forget that your parents and your friends are your biggest support system. And for the past 15 years, moms and dads, I have said the same thing. Never miss an opportunity to tell your children just how proud you are of them and that you will love them forever. The first Tyler Richards Memorial Scholarship Shining Star is a young lady who carries a 3.1 GPA and hopes to begin her college career at a local school to become an ultrasound technician. When asked on her application, "What is the most important lesson that you learned in high school?" she replied, "Time management." I think I need to take some hints from her. Staying focused and managing priorities, which is good with her involvement in the Palms and her volunteer work. She aspires to always be positive, as her mom has been for her. Congratulations to our new friend, Alyssa Link. Our second shining star is a young man who carries a 3.8 GPA and hopes to attend either Grand Valley, Michigan State, U of M, Chapman University to study film and television production. When asked on his application, who is the most important person or most influential person during your high school career, he answered, "There are 3 of them, but my dad is number 1. My dad told me that I needed to be happy in my chosen field, so do it." This young man owns his own photography and film business and will leave his legacy at Northern as the president and founder of the Film Club. And young man, from reading your application, I truly believe that you protect the people you care about in life. Where would we be without our friends? Congratulations to my new friend, Aaron Rudman.
Good evening. My name is Denny Dahlman, and this is my wife, Susie Dahlman. We both were teachers in the Wall Lake school system. As you're sitting there, I would like you to understand something. We are going to be giving 2 scholarships away tonight. We had 14 applicants. Part of the job, and probably the most difficult part of the job, is only being able to pick 2. So the people that are standing behind us and the people that are still sitting there have done something very special in order to have somebody recognize them. Our first applicant is a young lady who wants to follow our daughter's footsteps. She was the first person from Wall Lake Central to go to the Art Institute of Chicago and get a degree in fashion. She also wants to own her own clothing store. She's maintained a 4-point average. She also has given back and helped with cheerleading with the younger people and had 4 years in cheerleading. It is a great pleasure to introduce and give this scholarship to Samantha Abil.
It is my honor also to give this scholarship on behalf of my daughter, who also loved life and loved people, and was hugely motivated by the people in this school to reach for her dream, and that was to go to the Art Institute in Chicago. So as my husband mentioned, when we looked through these scholarships, we were all so inspired by all of you kids, and you're gonna make the world a better place. The recipient from this scholarship so inspired me because she was hit by a car in her freshman year of high school. She was a pedestrian that just was walking along in a school zone. She spent endless hours and days in the hospital, and in her recovery, where she could have given up, she decided that her love for art grew deeper. As she recovered in the hospital, the accident didn't stop her. It motivated her to try harder. She's been on the honor roll all 4 years of high school. This fall, she will attend U of M Stamps School of Art and Design. Her dream is to work on animation, on cartoons and movies that show positivity to the youth of tomorrow for a better day and for a better world. It's my honor to welcome up Alyssa Terry.
Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Kelsey Siebold-Wolf, and I'm here to present the John M. Siebold Memorial Scholarship on behalf of my family and in memory of my dad. My dad was an all-around great guy. He was fun-loving and hardworking. He always went out of his way to offer encouraging words, take action to help others, and support everyone with their individual needs and goals. He truly lived his life in a way that showed people he cared. When he passed away, he left a void in the lives of not just our family, but in the lives of his many friends, colleagues, employees, neighbors, and in the lives of some people he didn't even know. He touched these lives not by being an achiever, but although he achieved a lot in his 40 years, he impacted these lives by being a giver and a doer. While selecting these recipients for the scholarship we present tonight, we were specifically looking for applicants that displayed these attributes. There are many scholarships available for students with top grades, and actually both of the people that are winning our award tonight have fantastic GPAs. But what we're looking for is the doers. We're looking for students involved in the community, who give back to others, who display leadership qualities. Students that not only listed their own achievements on their application, but showed how they use their skills to help others grow as well. We had over 60 applicants this year, and our family feels these two students must be some of the most dynamic in the school district, and we're really honored to support them tonight. From Walled Lake Western, Celia Mann, who's already up here. Throughout her high school career, Celia has worked multiple jobs, served as a youth leader in her church youth group, volunteered at the local homeless shelter, and been a member of choir and PPI influence group, all while maintaining a 3.75 GPA. While all of this is incredibly impressive, the thing that stood out to me the most on her application was when Celia said that her goal is to live her life serving others, and that she gets true joy when she's able to both help and inspire other people. And she is looking forward to having a degree in criminal justice, right? Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Our second award tonight goes to Lydia Forehand from Walled Lake Northern.
I have had the privilege of knowing Lydia for a majority of her life and seen firsthand her drive, determination, and eagerness to help everyone around her. Even I was surprised at her list of extracurriculars. It did not fit on one page. Lydia has displayed her leadership skills as president of German Club, drum major in the marching band, captain of the hockey team, assistant captain of the lacrosse team, member of National Honor Society, and youth elder in her church, while also maintaining over a 4.0 GPA and volunteering for countless organizations. Lydia is considering a degree in business or education and will be attending the University of Michigan in the fall.
The next scholarship is the Robin J. Shapiro Memorial. It was established in 1994. This scholarship honors Robin Shapiro, a member of the class of 1994 at Central High School, who died in an automobile accident in 1991. This scholarship recognizes special services achievement. Unfortunately, the presenters were not able to make it tonight, so we're just going to give out the award, and the award tonight goes to Megan Bolda. So Megan, if you're here, come on up.
I'm Tom Sturgeon, and I'm here tonight to present the Shannon Sturgeon Memorial Scholarship. Shannon died in an automobile accident in August of 1993, just prior to what would have been her senior year at Walled Lake Western. The scholarship was created by Shannon's family and friends to preserve her spirit and memory. The scholarship has been tailored to young women graduates of Walled Lake Western who exhibit many of Shannon's qualities: commitment and sportsmanship, involvement in track and skiing, hopes and dreams for the future, and most importantly, friendship. Shannon, you see, valued friendship above all else. One of the earlier recipients of this scholarship summed this up well. Friendship is the purest, simplest, most beautiful love there is. I'm very pleased to present this year's scholarship to a young woman who exhibits these qualities. She plans to study nursing, and through her high school years has maintained in excess of a 4.0 GPA and earned 9 varsity letters, and she's already on stage, I believe. This recipient this year is Madeline Breen. Almost got it wrong. Congratulations, Madeline.
Hi, I'm Michelle Brandon, and I'm a teacher at Walled Lake Northern and a former swim coach and water polo coach for Walled Lake. I would like to first call up our 2 recipients so they can stand with us. So could I have Michael O'Brien and Zachary Rybitz please come up? So we're here tonight to present the Taylor Tanis Memorial Scholarship. Taylor Joseph Tanis was, I'm too short for this, okay, sorry. Taylor Joseph Tanis was a Keith Dragon, a CHS Trojan, a Northern Knight, and a Grand Valley State University Laker. More importantly, he was a son, a grandson, a nephew, cousin, boyfriend, student, teammate, athlete, coach, co-worker, and best friend that anyone could ever ask for. In high school, Taylor was on the Northern swim team, and he also was the captain of the water polo team. He continued playing at Grand Valley, where his love and knowledge of the sport grew tremendously. After he graduated from GVSU, he came home and coached both the men's and women's teams here in Walled Lake. As a player and a coach, Taylor had a profound impact on the Walled Lake water polo program. As an only child, his parents were his entire world. He thought of his friends as his brothers and sisters, and the loyalty and love that he showed for the people in his circle could never be put into words. Taylor enjoyed watching, playing, and coaching sports, spending time on the lake, listening to all types of music, hunting, fishing, and most of all, spending time with the people he cared about. One of his greatest qualities was that he never let the opportunity to let you know how much he loved you pass him by. To be loved by Taylor was an incredible honor and one that I will always cherish. Taylor was in a fatal car accident on July 15, 2016. He was taken from us way too soon. No words can describe the massive hole that he has left in the hearts of everyone who knew him. One thing that Taylor believed was that strength came from challenge. I don't know where he came up with this, but he believed it so strongly that he tattooed it on his body. He knew that hard work paid off, that sticking through the tough times meant even better times would be ahead, and that giving up on something that was difficult was never the answer. The two men that are standing here with us today were selected to receive the Memorial Scholarship this year because they truly deserve it. They're extremely special young men. They are among the very last group of water polo players that played for Taylor. These young men were freshmen his last season coaching, and from reading their essays, I know that they each were impacted by Taylor. He taught them lessons not just about polo, but about life. On behalf of Taylor's parents, Allison and Joe, his best friend Kevin in North Carolina, his Aunt Stacy, his former teammate and friend Riley, who's back here somewhere with me, and then myself, his former coach, teacher, and friend, I would like to announce the recipients of the scholarship this year to Michael and Zachary. Michael will be attending Oakland Community College in the fall. And because of all the extra work he did this year in high school, he will receive his associate's degree after just 1 year. And then he will continue his education probably at Oakland University, where he plans to eventually work in the automotive or manufacturing industry. And Zach, I've had Michael as a student, love him. Just got to know Zach recently as he helps out with the women's water polo program and is following in Taylor's footsteps. Just an awesome person to have on deck. He will be attending Michigan State University in the fall, where he plans on playing water polo. He will be studying pre-med and hopes to work in the medical field in the future. These two have been faced with difficult challenges in their life. Their essays were very personal, so I won't share that with you, but I know that if Taylor was here, he would be extremely proud of these two and all that they have achieved. Thank you.
Take a picture later.
Hi, my name is Danielle. I'm the granddaughter of Zane and Dawn Rice, who unfortunately can't be here tonight. But they're just getting so old, and they've been getting sick. My grandfather just recently got a pacemaker put in, so they're just not able to make the trip. This is actually my second year being able to present this scholarship, which is really awesome. Every year, my grandparents have picked one female and one male applicant each, and they both receive a $1,000 scholarship. My uncle Mike, I never got to meet. He passed away in 1984 in a tragic helicopter crash. He was a captain in the U.S. Marine Corps. But they started this scholarship in 1985 when a local church donated money to take care of the expenses for the funeral, and they ended up making it into this memorial scholarship until the funds run out. This year, I would like to go ahead and just invite the nominees up who won. We had Nicholas Corte and then Carly DeRoche. Every year they pick someone who has excelled and lead inside the classroom, on the field, and in their communities as well. Thank you guys so much, and congratulations.
First of all, my apologies for asking you to stand. But ladies and gentlemen, let's have a nice round of applause for the 2019 Student Memorial Scholarship recipient. Thank you to the trustees as well. I'm going to call up the trustees for the School Staff Memorial Scholarships. The students that just left, you're going to have an opportunity at the end of the night. We have a little afterglow where there's some light refreshments and some cookies, and get a chance maybe to introduce your parents to the folks that talked about you up here and had nice things to say. But you were awarded a scholarship in memory of someone, and do it justice. I like what was said, remembering spirit, keeping their spirit and memory alive. The way that Legacy works is that funds are raised. We have an organization that manages our funds, and then the interest that draws every year is paid out in scholarships. And we invite anybody to become members of Legacy. So $20 a year. We are going to be meeting for all paid dues members, and that would include all trustees. We make sure that your dues are paid. We're going to be meeting September 26th for our fall meeting. So we hope to see you there. At this time, the School Staff Memorial Scholarships.
Okay, I'd like to call Sarah Rochelle to the stage for the Calhoun Family Memorial Scholarship. Jim could not be here today to present the award in honor of his parents. This scholarship honors William and Joan Calhoun. Mr. Calhoun served as an assistant principal at Western High School for 25 years, and Mrs. Calhoun was a teacher at Central High School. This scholarship recognizes strong leadership and student activities at Western, commitment to serving others, a strong work ethic, and leadership qualities. Sarah has carried a 4.063 GPA throughout her high school years. She was a 4-year varsity basketball player and a team captain as a senior. She's the vice president of student leadership at Western. She plans to pursue a degree in either education or political science from Michigan State University. It's my pleasure to present the William Calhoun Memorial Scholarship to Sarah Rochelle.
I'm Roberta Chowan Falkenberg, and I'm here for the Floyd and Julia Chowan Scholarship. This is my granddaughter, Julia Slintak, who was named after her great-grandmother. My father started teaching here as the math and science teacher for the school. Later, he became the elementary principal, the first one Walled Lake Schools had. Before that, the high school principal helped out. My mother taught during the war years, World War II, and then she went to West Bloomfield and taught there, and she came back and retired from Walled Lake Schools. This year, we're going to give the scholarship to someone who has, basically will be considered math or science in their career. And this year it goes to Courtney Koje. I hope I said that right. Courtney? She is going to work on being a software engineer. She's done events for Giving Tree and treasurer of the Red Cross Club, helping with blood drive, making veterans kits, volunteer in her church with children's events.
Hi, I'm Kathy Schanowski. My late husband, Tom,
who died of pancreatic cancer several years ago, was a teacher in Farmington for 32 years and president of the Teachers Association for 22 years. He believed in serving in the community, so in his memory, the family began the Thomas S. Shanowski Distinguished Service Scholarship to award a student from one of the Farmington high schools or Wall Lake Central, where our children graduated. This student needs to have shown distinguished service in his or her school and community academic success and a desire to further his or her education. Throughout our scholarship winner's 4 years at Wall Lake Central, she has served in a variety of volunteer roles. I'm pleased to announce this year's recipient is a member of the National Honor Society, has done many hours of service through that organization. She has also volunteered at Glengarry Elementary, Walled Lake Schools PTA, and the Open Door Outreach Center in Waterford. Through these organizations, she has done tutoring. She has a great musical talent, receiving all of the highest rankings in every competition in which she's entered. She has been first chair in the marching band, which helped to hone her leadership skills. She has performed in the orchestra for 3 of Wall Lake Central's musicals, and at All-State Band, and at U of M Performing Arts Camp. This amazing young lady has done all this in addition to taking AP classes and maintaining her very high GPA. Her career path is currently towards performing with a major symphony orchestra. A major comment from a scholarship recommendation said she continually proves herself as a kind, dedicated, and talented young woman who represents herself at an extraordinary high level. She will be a perfect fit for her profession. I am delighted to present this award in memory of my late husband and father of our children to Anna Grazaz. Is that how? She is planning on attending Indiana University School of Music. So tell me how you pronounce your last name. Okay, not too bad. You're welcome.
I'm Barb Garbett, and I've come to present the Ethel Mugler Memorial Scholarship. As far as we know, Ethel was the first woman principal in the Walled Lake schools, and she was also the first director of outdoor education. And tonight I'd like to present 3 scholarships. The first one from Western High School, Matthew Foster. Matthew has did an Eagle Scout project at the Outdoor Center, which is a wonderful thing. He's been in band and orchestra, and he was cast as Fiddler in Fiddler on the Roof. He's worked in environmental awareness, and following the founder of the Scouting Secretary by leaving nothing but footprints and keeping nothing but memories. And he will be going into mechanical engineering. From Central High School, I'd like to present to Olivia Look. Olivia has done extensive volunteer work. She's been active in the Model UN, FIRST Robotics, in the National Honor Society, and more, while also holding a summer job. And she will be studying computer engineering. Congratulations. And lastly, from Northern High School, McKenna Barless. McKenna has been a Girl Scout for 13 years, so we know she's done all kinds of environmental things and has earned a silver award, which I believe is the second highest honor in Scouting. She's been in the marching band, National Honor Society, dance, and the gardening club. And she will be going into environmental sciences at Michigan State. And I would like, congratulations. I'd also like to just take one more minute to tell you much more about these students. But to sum it all up, I'd like to say something that Olivia wrote in her application, and I quote, "Nature is the only thing that we find beautiful that is not produced by humans. Nature is the only art form not influenced by someone else's interpretation. It is our own life source, and it should be our life's work." So thank you all.
Good evening. I'm Kevin Roseborough. This is my mother, Elaine. My dad, Barry Roseborough, was director of personnel in Walled Lake Schools for 19 years. We'd like to think that he helped build the foundation that has made the school system what it is today, and helped produce the great students I see before me. Tonight we'll be awarding 4 scholarships that represent all 3 of the high schools. I'll announce the names now so people can start making their way up. From Western, Peyton Narragon. From Central, Emily Hudson. Also from Central, Megan Coden. And from Northern, Paige Karbowski. Just before I say a few words about these successful young people, I'd like to say something else. And as we celebrate all the great graduates here today, let's not forget about the parents. I think there was a lot of great work done. There's challenges in every family. And let me just say congratulations to all the parents who've done so much to achieve this great result. All right, Peyton. Peyton, very active in choir, orchestra, acting, and forensics. Outside of school, active as well in supporting families affected by hydrocephalus, a medical condition, also a mentor for those who are on the autism spectrum. She's going to study to become a human rights attorney, and her parents are Dan and Sarah. Congratulations. Paige is active in a lot of sports as well, basketball, volleyball, track, also the German club. Even with all these activities, she's found time to work with special needs students and also work in a physical therapy clinic. Probably is a good idea then that her career path is to become a physical therapist as her career. Her parents are Ronald and Shelley. Emily is active golf, soccer, tennis, volleyball. She finds time for all that. We were also very impressed by her commitment to serving her school and community in addition to all those things. She's a 4-year member of Student Council, also worked with a group that builds awareness about mental illness affecting young people. Her goal also is to become a physical therapist. Her parents are Carolyn and Randy, who are both Walled Lake educators. Congratulations. Also from Central, Megan Coden, very active in gymnastics. Also a founder of Kids Helping Kids, which is an organization that raises money for Mott Children's Hospital and also mentors underprivileged kids in other parts of our region. She wants to study chemistry with the hopes of researching new treatments for disease. Her parents are Karen and Andy. Congratulations.
I wanted to see the picture they found in that because I didn't provide them with one. I kind of got distracted. I'm Marion Schumann, I'm Matt's mother. I have Matt's brother, Kevin. I have Matt's niece, Samantha. And we have Matt's aunt out in the auditorium who's with us also here tonight. Matt completed his student teaching at Walled Lake Western. He started the computer science club there. He was very interested in computers. And I know he was, I think, trying to build some with the kids in the computer club. He also was asked to help in the after-school tutoring program, and I was told that once they asked him, he came faithfully every week to help the students and didn't miss one time. So today I would like to ask Arsalan Akbar up. I hope I said that right for you. Now, in his application, he told me that he struggled with math, but that he's worked very hard at it and he's overcome it. And his counselors and his teachers have said that he's not only doing very well himself, but he also was tutoring other students and helped them to do very well in the math class this year too. So you were truly an asset to it, much like Matt has. He would certainly be proud of you. In addition to that, he is interested in music, and I understand he was also in Fiddler on the Roof in a main part this year, part of the Walled Lake Western Men's Choir, and has received several awards for his singing ability. But we won't ask you to sing, I guess. You've indicated you might want to go to Grand Valley or Wayne State. Have you made a choice? OCC, very good choice. I actually myself took some classes at OCC, and so did Matt's brother. A very good school. He also volunteers at his church. His application said he's a self-motivated learner who has taken full advantage of all the opportunities that the school has offered him. He has a 3.9 grade point average, so I'm sure that's very true, very impressive. And we wish you the best at school and in your future endeavors. Congratulations.
The next scholarship to be presented is the John Shadford Memorial Scholarship. It was founded in 1996. This scholarship honors John Shadford, who served as a teacher and coach at Central High School for over 25 years. His love of Walled Lake Central and the Vikings was legendary. The scholarship recognizes athletics, academics, competitiveness, and sportsmanship. Our recipient this year is Andre Paduraru. And Andre, if you're here, come on up. While he's coming up, I'll tell you about him. Andre will be attending Penn State and playing on their tennis team. He is currently team captain for Central's varsity tennis team, where he exemplifies true grit in practices and matches and encourages his fellow team members to do the same. He has spent approximately 300 hours over the past 5 years at professional tennis tournaments in Cincinnati as a ball boy. Throughout his life, Andre has used tennis to learn how to regulate and transform his negative emotions and impulses into proactive actions. This has helped him stay tough and in the zone during his tennis matches. Congratulations, Andre.
Dean Smith, a wonderful person, wonderful teacher, gone too soon. The Dean Smith Memorial Scholarship honors Dean Smith, who had a 35-year career in Walled Lake as a teacher, counselor, and administrator. This scholarship recognizes a student who has overcome adversity. And it is my pleasure to announce this year's winner from Western, Cristiano Bermudez. If you'd come forward, please. This year's Dean Smith Memorial Scholarship recipient has participated in 4 years of marching band throughout his high school years. He has also played in the jazz band at Western. In addition to balancing his schoolwork and extracurricular activities, he also held a job at a local restaurant to help support himself and his family. He plans to major in psychology and minor in music at the university level. Congratulations, Cristiano. Bernie and Diane Stafford. I was privileged to know them and work with them as I did with Dean and so many of the teachers, John Shadford. Bernie and Diane were special to their family, friends, colleagues, and the many students they interacted with for many years. I was privileged to have known them both and to have worked with Bernie. Bernie taught physical education in Walled Lake from 1955 to 1982 and coached high school athletics from 1955 to 1974. If you ran track during those years, you knew the Stafford Relays were named for him and were held from 1974 until 2013. Diane was a speech therapist for 30 years. She was a dedicated trustee and co-founder of Legacy Scholarship Funds. This scholarship honors them and their dedication to seeing the promise of a bright future for students. The award recognizes scholarship, character, and athletic participation. And this year's Stafford Scholarship winner from Western is Ryan Hamlin. Ryan is a 4-year student council member and a student athlete. He has played 2 years of varsity basketball and 3 years of varsity tennis. He has also thrived academically as he carries a 3.824 GPA and is a member of the National Honor Society. His hard work in the classroom has earned him KLAA/LVC. That must be athletic, okay. Lakes, right. Scholar Athlete honors each year. It is my pleasure to introduce this year's Stafford Memorial Scholarship recipient, Ryan Hamlin.
How about a nice round of applause for the 2019 Student Staff Memorial Scholarship. Thank you, trustees. At this time, we're going to call up the trustees for the community scholarships. Obviously, what you're seeing here tonight is the cream of the crop of Walled Lake Schools. Every year that we do this, we get to see the best of the best, and these are all well-deserved scholarships. Very impressed with grade point averages. Richard, I'm not one to brag, as you know, but you know I graduated with a 4.0. Didn't you know that? I had a 1.0 my freshman year, a 1.0 my sophomore year, and you can do the math.
The scholarship that we're celebrating right now is the Wilfred Berry Memorial. The Wilfred Berry Memorial Scholarship was created in 1998 by Dr. Andrew Berry in loving memory of his father, Wilfred Berry. This scholarship recognizes exemplary acts of kindness. We have 2 recipients from Central today, and our first recipient is Megan Coden, and our second recipient is Geethika Bodanapu. I'll start with Megan. Megan will be attending Boston University, where, pardon me? I have you both attending. Where are you attending? Oh, Megan will be attending University of Michigan. Where do you want to be? I had that right. Where she's going to study chemistry. Megan is an exemplary student. She's currently carrying a 4.298 GPA and earned a perfect 36 on her ACT and scored in the top 1 percentile on the SAT. Besides being a capable student, she's also very active outside of school. For the past 2 summers, she has worked as a camp counselor at YMCA Camp Nisokoni. She also coaches gymnastics and hosts gymnastics birthday parties at the Sports Club of West Bloomfield. She's the founder and president of the 35-member Kids Helping Kids Club here at Central, whose members raised over $2,000 for Mott's Children's Hospital and Joy Preparatory Academy. The club also became pen pals and visited with the students from Joy Prep Academy, which serves underprivileged students in Detroit. During these visits, the club members brought the students pizza, read them books, had dance parties, put on musical performances, and even set up a play area obstacle course for them to play on. She has also volunteered over 125 hours as a member of Central's National Honor Society. Megan is a varsity member and captain of the Walled Lake varsity gymnastics team. Moreover, she has played soccer at Central and at the club level. Megan is a dancer with Studio A and is the captain of her troupe. So let's give a hand to Megan. Congratulations, Megan. And our next recipient, as I said, is Geethika Bodonapu, and she will be attending Boston University. Geethika is an outstanding student with a 4.435 GPA and aspires to become a physician. She has accumulated many academic awards. She is a National Merit semifinalist, an AP Scholar with distinction, and a National AP Scholar with honor. Geethika is extremely accomplished with her extracurricular activities as well. She earned a 1 rating at the state level for her violin performance, is president of the National Honor Society, is a varsity member of the tennis team, the French Club vice president, the treasurer of the Indian American Student Association, and HOSA Future Health Professionals president, where she won first place at the Regional Epidemiology Event Competition. She has also volunteered countless hours of her time at Huron Valley Sinai Hospital. So congratulations, Geethika.
Good evening, my name is Jimmy Auger, and I'm currently on staff at the Commerce United Methodist Church. And I'm here tonight to award the Commerce United Methodist Church Scholarship. Our scholarship is divided into 2 areas, academics and service and faith in our local church congregation. It's always given out to a senior that's been an active participant in our congregation. And so this year I'd like to award our scholarship to Spencer Landry. Well, on the academic side, Spencer is bilingual. He's proficient and fluent in German, and he's actually got a seal of biliteracy in German, and also has got an undergraduate capstone class in German from Oakland University. And so he's also been a Foreign Language Key Award winner. And so you may not be surprised that he's going to be attending school this fall in Switzerland. Switzerland. Yeah, I didn't quite get that. And so glad that you're an ambassador. In fact, he wants to go into international diplomacy to become an ambassador. He graduated with a 4.5 GPA, and he's going to be attending, as I said, Franklin University in Switzerland. He's also been a part of the Lakes Valley Conference member for Lakeland, who helped raise over $16,000 this year for the Make-A-Wish Michigan to help people, including his sister Jenica, with significant health issues make their wishes come true. Great organization. And now on to the faith part. It's important in our congregation that we raise up kids to know that they're not only the future of our society, but also the church. And so it's important to us as a congregation and as staff at Commerce to know that they're active and participants today. Well, Spencer's done many things. He's been an acolyte for over 9 years for our congregation. He's a certified lay speaker, and what that means in our church is that he's given authority. He's taken classes, he's done work in preparation, and he's given leadership roles. He's even led many services in our church and even given several messages and sermons in our church, and especially in our church over the last couple of months where our pastor had a stroke. He stepped up and led services for that as well. He even, as a youth, helped plan a mission trip last year for our youth group to go down to Basher Children's Home in Indiana, where he was very integral in helping plan that and lead that. And so, Spencer, because of your academic achievements and achievements in our church, we thank you and award this to you.
Hi, I'm Dave Wolf. I'm president of Acromag in Wixom. I'm here to present the Captain Henry Patton Memorial Scholarship. Just before I get started, I'd like to congratulate the Legacy staff. Without this group, none of you would be here today getting your scholarships. I think it's a fantastic organization, and they give all their time and energy preparing all this and doing all the bookkeeping, which looks like a lot to me, out of their heart. So let's give them a quick. I have 2 scholarship envelopes to award. I invite Ryan Moore and Chad Labiano to come up. You know, had I known that the envelopes didn't have any money in it, I might have been able to swing a few more. Well, that's for next year. So the scholarship was started in 2004 by our founder and established to honor his father and the ideals that made this country great. To date, we have given out 184 scholarships since then. Captain Patton was born in 1899 on a farm in Jonesboro, Tennessee. He attended Tennessee State University, the University of Tennessee, the University of Virginia Medical School, received a doctorate in medicine, the University of Penn Medical School, and Bethesda Naval Medical School. So you can see he was very academically minded, like a lot of these students are. In 1924, he joined the U.S. Navy. He served and died in World War II in the Pacific Campaign. He built a 5,000-bed military hospital at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Captain Patton believed in education, duty to God, and service to others. And you can see the things you can accomplish in your life, and he sets a great example for that, I would say. So through a written application and questionnaire, this scholarship is presented tonight, is given to those candidates that demonstrated the best of these qualities. So the first scholarship goes to Ryan Moore. Ryan Moore attended Saline High School and will be the 3rd in his family going to Grand Valley. I believe all 3 at the same time too, right? Ryan is musically minded. I won't ask him to sing right here in front of everybody, but he's interested in education and music education particularly, and public policy. He's an honor roll student, and he also did track and cross country in high school. So congratulations, Ryan. My next recipient is Chad Labiano. He went to school at Southfield Christian, and he has a 3.8 grade point average. He's planning to attend Henry Ford and taking up nursing. He's involved in much volunteer work. He played varsity baseball, and he was the team manager for the varsity football team as well. He's been quite a student and very active. He's one of 5 children in his family. Chad, I'd be remiss in not mentioning this is an interesting night because all of this tragedy has resulted in so much beautiful future for all of you. Well, Chad has lost his mother and his grandmother in the last year, so it's very sad. But he's motoring on, and I hope you get a little bit out of this night and seeing how other people feel about trudging ahead. So we're very proud of you, and congratulations. Thank you.
I think the Kathleen Moretti one was next, but I am here. Okay, George Seedorf is the
Next one, please.
next one. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, oh, there we go. All right. We got the picture up there finally. I'm George Seedorf. My mother was killed by a drunk driver in 1986, 17-year-old down in Florida. He was stoned and drunk. Okay. Well, because my father had been killed by a drunk driver back right after I graduated from here a few months ago. I mean, 52 years ago, I should say. That's more than a few months. But anyway, that was tough. I'm 18 years old, my father gets killed by a drunk driver. I'd say I had 8 years that weren't all that productive after that. So when it happened to my mother, when I'm 37, Seth Lampy was around, and it was possible to start a scholarship. Broward County had $10,000. That's what you have to pay when you kill somebody. $10,000 down in Florida. That's not a lot of money, but I put it into this fund, and we've been doing these scholarships for 31 years, so that's a good use of $10,000. We've got a great honoree this time. Thank you. Thank you. I am humbled. My mother was a poet, a songwriter, and a person of great, who cared about social justice. When I look at this application here, I think about economic and social justice. Now, my father was an immigrant that came from Denmark. He got away just ahead of Hitler. He knew what was going on. It was a good move to move to Ypsilanti. This year's recipient of this award describes herself as a Mexican woman. I mention immigrants because I believe strongly in immigration. I mean, we are a country of immigrants, you know? Who are we without immigrants? And immigrants are taking getting a little bad press now and then these days, and that's wrong. Hopefully we can overcome that. So I'm, in honor of my old Spanish teacher, Miss Molesta, I'm going to welcome to the stage Andrea Torres. Andrea. I went to Mexico, I was a student here, you know. I was an exchange student down in Mexico in 1960, let me say, in 1966. I remember it a little bit, okay. I really wasn't much of a Spanish student. I learned about 100 vowels, you know. It was great running around Mexico City with my buddy. Oh yeah. Now, I've read a lot of essays over the last 31 years, but I'll tell you this, I've never had an applicant whose cousin was killed by a drunk driver. Now that hits close to home. And Andrea had to deal with that. She said some great things here, but I can't take any more time. There are other people. Let's give this to Andrea and wish her luck.
I'm proud to say I serve on the board of directors of the Walled Lake School Employees Federal Credit Union. In 2004, a scholarship was started. The Walled Lake School Employees Federal Credit Union created the scholarship for each of the Walled Lake high schools to provide financial assistance to graduating members of the credit union or the graduating son or daughter of a credit union member. I'm gonna call up the four individuals. From Northern, John Koffel. From Western, Samantha Abel. From Western, Ryan Hamlin. And from Central, Andrew Boyle. Boyle. I'm sorry, Boyle. You'll get them. John will be working on a degree in automotive tech and business. He has been honored with a member of the National Technical Honor Society. Congratulations. Samantha, varsity cheerleader over at Western, volunteers, helps girls in 3rd and 8th grade as a cheerleader coach and works part-time as a sales associate at a local store, going into animation graphic design at? MSU. And you're going to? OCC and MSU. Ryan is on varsity basketball for the Warriors, student council, community volunteers, and with the Honor Society, and you are going to? Another Sparty. And Andrew Boyle, you Eagle Scout, major accomplishment. Your great-grandparents, Mary and Mylan Lott, were credit union members and very well known in the area. Volunteers with Hospitality House and Habitat for Humanity. There's the credit union scholarship recipients. Thank you. I'll get you the
It is my honor to present the Dr. Leo H. and Lorna Westinger Memorial which was established in 2015. Could I have Mia Maunjian, Ariba Mason, and Joshua Aegis? Come on up. This scholarship was created by the family and friends of Dr. Leo H. Wessinger, Jr. and his wife, Lorna. Dr. Wessinger served on the Walled Lake Schools Board of Education. This scholarship recognizes academic achievement while overcoming a personal or academic challenge. I can tell you that all 3 students here from Walled Lake Northern have been wonderful additions. A couple of them have only been with us for a little bit. But all 3 are great kids. Mia, for instance, is going to be attending Kent State University, where she'll be majoring in fashion merchandising and minoring in fashion media. She hopes to work for Vogue magazine when she's done with her schooling. Ariba is attending University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, where she plans to major in biology, and she wants to be a scientific researcher. And finally, Joshua is also going to be attending the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, where he'll be planning to major in biochemistry and plans to go on to medical school. Well done, guys.
There are your 2019 Community Scholarship recipients. Would like to invite up the retired school staff scholarships. That one young man, he was bilingual? I'm bilingual. I ride my bike through the neighborhood. Doesn't that mean you can ride a bike? Isn't that my bad, evidently not. All right. Oh.
Good evening. For more than 29 years, I had the pleasure of being Walled Lake Western's vocal music and the musical theater director. Tonight, I'm pleased to reward for the first time the Greg Cleveland Choir and Performing Arts Scholarship, recognizing 2 outstanding vocal music students at Walled Lake Western High School. At this time, I would like to invite Veronica Kozierowski and Noah Veenstra to the stage. Veronica has been a participant in vocal music classes and in Western's musical theater program during her 4 years of high school, including this year playing the role of Huddle in Fiddler on the Roof. She's participated at all levels of the choir program, including performing as a soloist and an ensemble member of the recent solo and ensemble program. And I believe over the last 4 years received all first places while she's been performing, both at the solo as well as with groups. She's also been an avid dancer outside of Walled Lake Western, and last year she brought her choreographical skills back to the school, and she taught students who said they could never dance how to dance. And so in many ways, she has shown leadership skills. I'm happy to be able to award Veronica with a scholarship to assist in her future education endeavors, and I know I'll see her on a future stage one day. Noah has been an active student in vocal music classes at Walled Lake Western, also for his 4 years. Noah took a little bit longer to make it on the stage in Western's musical theater productions. Not that I didn't try to encourage him, but soccer was also filling up his schedule. But as a senior this year, he finally made it on the stage in Fiddler on the Roof, actually playing Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof. The father of Huddle, I guess is how it was. Noah's leadership skills really came to light as he took over leadership of a student-led ensemble of 8 motivated students that also performed at the State Solo Ensemble Festival recently. All of Noah's and Veronica's endeavors at the state level were honored with first place awards. And so I'm happy to contribute to Noah's future educational endeavors, and I'm certain his future is bright, and no matter what, he'll find a way to keep singing for the rest of his life.
The next scholarship is the Harold E. Step Scholarship. It was founded in 1988. Harold E. Step served Walled Lake Schools as a science teacher and was assistant principal at Central High School from 1969 to 1987. His friends created the scholarship upon his retirement. He always maintained a strong interest in the field of science education. This scholarship recognizes outstanding achievement and interest in a career in the field of science. Our award tonight goes to Ria Gaitonde. Ria will be attending the University of Michigan School of LS&A and eventually wants to be a pediatric neurologist after completing her MD. She's highly accomplished with a current GPA of 4.298. She has dedicated countless hours of volunteering. Specifically, she shadowed in the surgery department of the West Bloomfield Hospital. She is also NHS Secretary, co-president of the Giving Tree Club, secretary of the Red Cross Club, a member of the Health Occupation Students of America Club, a student teacher at Chinmaya Mission Balavihar, and a member of the planning committee of You Matter Spirit Week. Congratulations, Ria. Our next scholarship is the Ronald and Beverly Rentschler Scholarship. Greg Diamond will also be presenting at Northern when I'm finished. This scholarship was founded in 1990. It was founded by Ronald and Beverly Rentschler. They gave over 65 years of service to Walled Lake Schools as teachers, counselors, and library coordinator. This scholarship was created by family and friends and recognizes a student planning, a service-oriented career such as teaching, library science, nursing, or environmental sciences. Our recipient this evening is Emily A. Hudson. Emily will be attending the University of Michigan School of Kinesiology, where she plans on studying to become a physical therapist. She's an outstanding student carrying a 4.071 GPA. She's been involved in many athletics, playing volleyball, soccer, tennis, varsity golf here at Central, and she's also committee head for You Matter and was a member of the Honor Guard for the class of 2017. She played travel soccer throughout high school and coaches the Little Kickers. She has volunteered at Spring Hill Camp as a member of their teen service team, is a member of student council, and helped run many events, including the canned food drive, homecoming, and the volleyball marathon. Let's give it up for Emily.
This year's recipient from Walled Lake Northern for the Ronald and Beverly Rentschler Scholarship is Samuel Frank. Sam is a standout student at Walled Lake Northern. His academic achievements, along with his extracurricular accomplishments, make him a very deserving recipient. Last year, Sam earned a perfect ACT score. He has been Northern's drum major for both his junior and senior years. He is the vice president of the National Honor Society and is an active member of Northern's German Club. Sam has earned the honor of being awarded All-State Trumpet Musician. Sam's future plans are to attend Northwestern University and pursue a major in physics and anatomy. He has shared that his experience in the German exchange program has impacted him, and he would like to continue this by studying abroad at some point while at Northwestern University. Well done.
And this year's recipient from Walled Lake Western for the Ronald and Beverly Rentschler Scholarship is Briere Spencer. Briere, if you could come up, please. Briere is very active in the school community at Western as a Link Crew leader and a member of student activities and student council while holding a job throughout her high school years. She has aspirations of pursuing a nursing degree, leading to a career as a pediatric nurse. Briere says she would love to work with children because they are the future. It's my pleasure to present the Ronald and Beverly Rentschler Scholarship to Briere Spencer.
The next scholarship is the Smith Performing Arts Scholarship. This was founded in 1996, and it's for Richard and Linda Smith, who have served as teachers in Walled Lake schools for many years. Linda taught first grade at both Keith and Oakley Park Elementaries. Richard served as principal of both Western High School and Central High School. This scholarship recognizes the outstanding performing arts student at Central High School. Our recipient this year is Anna Gruzas. Our band director at Walled Lake Central, Dave Rogers, wanted to present but was unable to attend, so he did write a little piece, and I'm going to read what he said. And here's what Dave said. He told me that Anna Grusas is a rising superstar in the field of music. During her high school career, Anna was twice named All-State. She was also a two-time Michigan Youth Arts performer and has recently been awarded a half scholarship at the prestigious Jacobs School of Music at Indiana University. At Central, Anna was a star in Wind Symphony, the Symphony Orchestra, the marching band, and as a member of the Pit Orchestra. Outside of Central, Anna was a 3-year member of the Michigan State University Youth Wind Symphony. She is truly an elite high school musician with a grand future ahead. Congratulations, Anna. Our next scholarship is the George Wallace Scholarship. Founded in 1985, the family and friends of George Wallace created this scholarship. Gerald Wallace, sorry. Created this scholarship to honor his 16 years as principal of Central High School. He had a long career in education as a teacher, coach, and administrator in the Walled Lake schools. He was founder of Legacy Scholarship Funds Incorporated, formerly known as Central Scholarship Funds Incorporated. His scholarship recognizes a student who served and contributed to his or her school and community. Our recipient this year is Lauren Hamama. Lauren plans on attending Oakland University and the School of Engineering, where she will earn a degree in biomedical engineering. Lauren is an outstanding student carrying a 3.881 GPA. She was able to maintain this despite a recent major family crisis that took an enormous emotional toll on her and her family. Throughout high school, Lauren has been involved in countless clubs and events. She played and was captain of both of our women's basketball and soccer teams here at Central. To honor Lauren's contributions to our basketball program, she was honored with having an award named after her called the Hamama Award. It is given to the student who demonstrates the most courage, determination, and passion. She's also been the Secretary of Student Council for the past 4 years, where she was instrumental in organizing many community fundraisers such as the Kirk Pedersen Color Run and Dodgeball Tournament. She is the current National Honor Society president, spearheading even more volunteering efforts through the community. At St. Thomas, she participates in the church choir and teaches catechism. Congratulations, Lauren. Nice job.
There are your retired school staff scholarship recipients right there. We have one more category, schools and educational scholarships. The high school, then the high school one is going to be, okay. He got a perfect score on his ACT. I can't even spell ACT. You know, I don't know how you do that. As a junior.
Good evening. My name is Carrie Rutledge. I am currently a second grade teacher at Commerce Elementary. I have had the privilege of teaching kids and watching amazing students like the ones we've seen tonight for 32 years. 29 of those years have been in the Walled Lake schools. My husband and I also have a deep fondness for the Legacy Scholarship Program. Both of our children were Walled Lake Northern graduates and were blessed with Legacy Scholarships their senior year. So it's always amazing to listen to what these kids have done. It's always fun to see them grow up, especially the ones that maybe I've taught or seen throughout the years at Commerce Elementary. The student that we are honoring tonight, I did not have the privilege of knowing while she was a student at Commerce Elementary, but it was a very difficult choice. We went round and round with a lot of the paperwork and things we were reading and all of the amazing things that they have done. But this student will be attending Eastern Michigan University in the fall. She's planning on majoring in simulation, animation, and gaming. Sounds like my daughter who is at Grand Valley right now and what she's interested in doing. She's been a part of German Club, Social Justice Club, president of the GSA. She's also been in marching band and was a squad leader this year. She's a member of the National Honor Society and has been in Girl Scouts since kindergarten. Her artwork has been featured in the school art show, and she was named the Outstanding Senior in 2D Design this year. She wants to become a game designer, and her goal is to work for Nintendo. So I'd like to welcome Delaney Stone up to the stage, please.
Our next scholarship this evening is the Mary Helen Guest Scholarship. Founded in 1997, Mary Helen Guest devoted more than 50 years to teaching in Walled Lake schools, most of it as a kindergarten teacher at Decker Elementary. In 1997, the Board of Education honored the service and dedication of Ms. Guest by renaming Decker Elementary the Mary Helen Guest Elementary. This scholarship recognizes a graduating senior from the Guest Elementary School. Our recipient this evening is Gavin Jasko. Gavin will be attending Concordia College, where he plans on earning a degree in special education and working at the elementary school level, or possibly coming back to Central and working as a SNAPS teacher. Gavin is a member of the SNAPS program here at Central, where he works with students with disabilities in which they learn life and socialization skills. While a student at Mary Helen Guest, he had a special, wonderful teacher named Mrs. Bruckman, who he said taught him so much about academics and life. So he owes a lot to her. So congratulations, Gavin.
My name is Shannon Drypen-Matthews, and I have the privilege to present another scholarship tonight, and this time as a Keith Elementary teacher. Our amazing recipient graced the halls of Keith Elementary and brought a bit of sunshine to each of us every day. Miss Emily Marshall, if you are here, could you come on up? These days, she participates in film club, German club, marching band, and track and field. She hopes to become a social worker and is planning on attending Taylor University. Congratulations, Emily.
I am very honored to give this award as a teacher from Clifford Smart. I recently retired and also was a parent sitting in the audience last year when my son won an award, and it's just a very special award to win a legacy award. The staff at Clifford Smart has chosen Allison McCulloch to be this year's recipient of their scholarship. Allison has been a 4-year member at Walled Lake Northern's marching band. This year, she was named section leader. During her junior and senior years, Allison was part of our wind ensemble. Allison, also a member of the Walled Lake Northern basketball team and track teams for 2 years. Next year, Allison will continue her education at Oakland Community College, where she will begin her work on her degree in psychology and a concentration in child development.
Good evening. My name is Daryl Shemansky, and I'm the president of the Walled Lake Education Association. The Walled Lake Education Association is the professional association that represents the 800 educators who work throughout the Walled Lake Consolidated Schools. The WLEA is affiliated with both the Michigan Education Association and the National Education Association. The association has 4 key objectives, 2 of which are to advance the general interests of public education and public school educators, and to improve educational opportunities of children within the Walled Lake Consolidated School District. One of the ways that our association strives to meet these 2 objectives is through our long-standing relationship with the Legacy Scholarship Fund. And that is why I am here this evening as the representative of not only our current 800 members, but also educators who have retired from Walled Lake, many of whom continue to support the WLEA through our fund with Legacy Scholarships. Before I continue, I wish to acknowledge all current and past members of the WLEA. If you are a current or past member, please stand. Please stay standing for just a few more moments. In some way, shape, or form, all of these people standing and thousands more made it possible for me to stand up here this evening and present 3 scholarships, as the WLEA Fund with Legacy is completely funded by Walled Lake educators. Please show Walled Lake educators, past and present, your thanks. Thank you. This year, we have selected 3 recipients. Our recipients this year are from Walled Lake Central, Adriana Brown. From Walled Lake Northern, Sophie La Rochelle. And from Walled Lake Western, Ryan Breen. As always, the applications were fun to read. Each year, I'm amazed by the vast service that these students offer to our community. In order to be considered for the scholarship, the applicant must be intending to pursue a career in education. I'm happy to report that we have a future elementary school teacher, a future special education teacher, and a future music educator up here with me. So this is where I get to have a little bit of fun. There is, however, one small hoop that each recipient will need to face before receiving his or her empty envelope. And as we all know, a good teacher needs to be able to think on his or her feet, so I don't feel too badly that I'm putting them on the spot. So, as acceptance for your scholarship, each recipient needs to give a shout out to one Walled Lake educator who made a difference in his or her life. Please give the name and briefly tell what that teacher did that makes him or her stand out in your memory. And you can go in any order.
Step to the microphone. Step to the microphone.
Yeah. All right. My teacher will be Mr. Dudzinski. He teaches band at Walled Lake Western, and his motivation for all of us to succeed inspires me and inspires me to be a music teacher and also look into the issues that music teachers face and the community face with music education. So yeah.
pick Miss Herdzak. She doesn't work for Walled Lake Schools anymore, but she was my SNAPS teacher the first year I took SNAPS, which really inspired me to want to study special education when I go off to college.
I would just give a shout out to my teacher, T. Moore, from sophomore year. He was my AP US teacher, and he's just a really nice guy. And he was very cool. And that's it.
Thank you.
Mr. Moore is a lot more than just cool. Okay, it's my honor to present the scholarship for Walled Lake Northern Student Council / Pamela Sullivan Memorial that was established back in 2012. The Walled Lake Northern Student Council Scholarship was established in 2011 to honor Pamela Sullivan, mother of a past president of the Student Council who devoted countless hours to help make the council a thriving group. This scholarship recognizes council leadership and community service. This year's recipient is Abigail Fries. Abigail has been extremely active in Walled Lake Northern student body. She has held many offices in various groups. Abigail has been part of Northern Student Council for the last 4 years and has been part of her class council since sophomore year. During her time on Student Council, she has chaired the gift drive both this year and last. Abigail was elected to be the treasurer of the Student Council for her senior year. She is a member of National Honor Society and took on the lead role for the coat and shoe drive. Abby is also part of the Science National Honor Society. Abigail has also been part of Northern soccer and tennis teams, as well as the yearbook staff. Abigail will be attending Michigan State University in the fall. She's considering pursuing a degree in pre-nursing or environmental biology.
Nice round of applause for school and educational scholarship recipient. Mr. Moore is cool. We do have a few of the high school athletic scholarships, so we're going to call them up. And let's get started.
The first high school athletic scholarship is for the Commerce Chargers Youth Football, which was established in 2014. The Commerce Chargers Youth Football Organization created the scholarship to provide financial assistance to graduating seniors who have participated in the football or cheerleading program at Central High School and have participated for at least 1 year in the Commerce Chargers program. Selection is based on the candidate's ability to be a positive role model and 4 years of high school participation. We have 2 winners tonight, and the presenters, unfortunately, were not able to make it, but the winners of this Commerce Chargers Youth Football Award are Justin Blackburn and Alyssa Rester. So come on up, folks. You're here to present?
I'm here to present.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm not Justin. I'm slightly older, but I will present. Yes. Hi, my name is Josh Perusi. I'm the current head football coach and teacher at Walled Lake Central High School, and I am here to present this award. Speaking about Justin first, Justin was an original member of the Commerce Chargers in their inaugural season back in 2007, I believe. He was awarded this, like they said, based on an ability to be a positive role model, which I feel he embodies very, very much. He's a 4-year player here at Walled Lake Central High School. He was a captain for us this past year, and he is currently a captain on the lacrosse team as they're enjoying a pretty successful season. He's also a member of the National Honor Society, and he will be attending U of M Dearborn to play lacrosse. Yep. Alyssa has been a 4-year member of the cheerleading team here at Walled Lake Central and was also a captain this past year. Another original member, OG of the Chargers. Currently the editor-in-chief of the school newspaper and one of the very few people that my wife has considered asking to babysit our daughter. So that is a merit to her character. She's going to attend Wayne State in the fall to study pediatric nursing. I just wanted to reiterate that this is not merely about an accomplishment or ability on the field or in competition. This is about being able to be a positive role model in the community, and I feel that these two individuals certainly are. The current booster president of the Commerce Chargers had said that these two have always represented the Charger program with great pride, and I could not agree anymore. Congratulations to Justin and Alyssa.
The next scholarship to be awarded is the Mike Lindstrom Memorial, which was established in 2003. Mike Lindstrom, Mr. L, was what high school volleyball was meant to be. This beloved volleyball coach and Walled Lake school teacher died suddenly in 2002. This scholarship was created by his family, students, players, parents, and colleagues. The scholarship recognizes a senior from any Walled Lake High School women's volleyball team for academic achievement, sportsmanship, positive attitude, and dedication to her sport. Unfortunately, the presenter is not able to be here tonight, and the award tonight goes to Miranda Strongman.
The Sarah Pepper Memorial, which was established in 2005, is a scholarship that was created by the family and friends of Sarah Pepper, a Northern high school parent who loved and supported the Northern High School men's soccer program. The scholarship recognizes a male soccer player who excels in team play, sportsmanship, and tenacity. This year's recipient of the Sarah Pepper Memorial Scholarship is Michael James. Michael was the captain of both the hockey and soccer teams at Walled Lake Northern. He was named all-conference in both sports this past year. His passion lies in the medical field and using his abilities to help others in need while being an instrumental part of making change for the betterment of others. Next year, Michael will attend Central Michigan University, go Chips, where he would like to continue his hockey career while pursuing a degree in the medical field.
The next scholarship is the Jan L. Schnells Memorial Scholarship. I'd like to call Carly DeRoche to the stage at this time. Mrs. Schnells was a dedicated soccer mom who died in a tragic automobile accident in 2003. Her family and friends created this scholarship to provide assistance to graduating seniors of Walled Lake schools who were members of the men's or women's soccer teams. This scholarship recognizes leadership and responsibility, sportsmanship, positive attitudes, and dedication to the sport. Carly has participated in several clubs, organizations, and sports teams in her 4 years at Western. She has been a member of student council, student activities, in the Spanish club. Athletically, she has played varsity soccer and has been a member of the ski team. She is also active in her church and a member of a Christian group, youth group called Young Life. A 4.262 student, she is also a member of NHS and plans to attend Michigan State University next fall, where she will study political science, or pre-law at MSU's James Madison College. It's my pleasure to present the Jan Schnell's Memorial Scholarship to Western's Carlita Roche.
There are your high school athletic scholarship recipients. There might be one more.
Yeah, we have another Schnell's. From Walled Lake Central, our recipient for the Jan L. Schnell's Memorial Scholarship is Corbin Daniel Adams. Corbin plans on attending Western Michigan University to study criminal justice, eventually becoming an FBI agent or police officer. Corbin is an outstanding student athlete who has played soccer and track here at Central. He is extremely dedicated to continually improving as a player. He has a genuine love for soccer and receives great joy and happiness whenever he has a chance to play. His greatest moment in Walled Lake soccer came while playing Walled Lake Western, where they came back from a 1-0 deficit and won the boot on senior night in front of a full stadium and his family. During his freshman year, he was awarded the Most Improved Player. In his junior year, he received the Lakes Valley Conference School Athlete Award. He was also a valued member of the team that participated in the state finals for the MHSAA Boys Soccer Championships. Congratulations, Corbin.
Now, the high school athletic scholarship recipients. Thank you. If you look at your program, there are some other high school athletic scholarships. Most of them are boosters, football boosters, soccer boosters, basketball boosters, the bowling program. Those individual scholarships are going to be awarded at their banquets or already have been if their season is finished. We also have an announcement about Oxford Schools, the Jamie Charles Memorial Scholarship. It was created by his family and friends. He died in 2002. His mother is a teacher in the school district out there. And the Greg Olson Memorial Scholarship was established in 2013 by family and friends of Gary Olson from the Mayo Osabo High School. Some high schools come to legacy to start scholarships, even though geographically they're not close to it. Did you guys get tickets tonight, by the way? You know what they're for? Would you like to find out? It's time to find out. Mary? Here's the treasurer of Legacy, Mary Remersma. And she's going to be talking to you.
We've heard a lot of applause for students this evening. I think now we need to hear some applause for parents and support persons behind these students. Each one of you have received a packet, and there are some instructions in that packet for you to follow in order for me to be able to send out your scholarship checks. First of all, on this certificate, if your name has been misspelled, please see us afterwards, and we will take care of making that correction. Refer to this handout that's in your packet that says important directions, because the first paragraph says, all scholarships will be mailed to you in early August. You must complete and return the enclosed gold form before any check will be sent to you. Please follow the instructions on this form. If between tonight and the time you should be going to college, you decide that you're not going to college, that you're going to join the military, and you're not using the scholarship, please, please, please contact us and let us know, because we will expect you then to, if you have received a check, to return it to us. We will void it. Last year, late in August, we were trying to find out about a scholarship check. And in contacting the parent, she said, oh, he decided to join the military, so he's not using the scholarship. Don't let that happen. Also, in your packet is a thank you note. And there is a little instruction sheet, in case you don't know, on how to write a thank you note. Now, we've had some interesting thank you notes over the years. Please make it a heartfelt thank you note, not, hi guys, thanks, the money will come in handy, signing your name. Also, we prefer that you students yourselves write the thank you note. A few years ago, we got one with 2 different handwritings. There was a parent, the parent wrote the note, and the student signed it. Not good, okay? So do this, if not tonight, before the end of the week, and send these 2 things back to us. Because until we get these, you're not getting the money. Okay. As it says in your information packet, the checks will be mailed out sometime around August 1st, and I'm not sure what day of the week that falls on. If you won more than 1 scholarship tonight, or if you're lucky enough to win another $100 with the drawings, you will get 1 check that combines all of your scholarship winnings. So 2 scholarships, 1 check. Another thing I like to stress, when you get the check, I would appreciate it if you would cash the check as soon as you possibly can. We close our books out at the end of September, and there have been a number of years when in October, I get a call from our accounting people saying, these checks have not cleared yet. So that means I need to make phone calls and find out why the check hasn't been cashed. So if you want the money, the only way you can get it is to cash the check. I think it was mentioned maybe at the beginning of the evening. On your way out in the lobby, we have membership forms available. If any students, we take students too, parents, aunts, uncles, relatives, friends, neighbors would like to become a member of the Legacy Scholarship Funds Incorporated, there are membership forms out there. We would be delighted to have you take one, fill it out, return it to us with a check for $20. It's probably the least expensive membership dues you'll ever pay. When we're finished, we invite you to join us in the lobby for some light refreshments. And I want to thank Acromag and the Wall Lake Education Association for making these next 20 scholarship or donations available. So we're gonna draw the ticket stubs that you were given to make it easy for me so that I can get this counting done with your other scholarships. Find your school clipboard. There's a highlighter up here. Find your name and just highlight your name, and that will take care of my record keeping. If you have any questions, I'll be hanging around out there. So let's get on to. Are you calling me a cave woman? Okay, Gail and Mr. Perry are going to draw the tickets, so get out your stuff.
Get your stubs.
Before I call out the first number, I just want you, particularly you guys, to know that in my heart, I'm a Viking, and I'm a real Viking because I graduated in, believe it or not, 1959, when this was not Central, it was just Wall Lake High School. But anyway, okay. I'm going to read the last three numbers of the ticket. And the first one is 632. There it is. There it is. You want me to put them up there? $700. $709. $635. Lucky guy. 705. There it is. $674. $667. What? I'm calling it again? Yeah. I'm calling this one again, 674. Oh, okay. 673. $684. $630. $708. $708. $685. $669. Four more. 699. $665. Three more. $629. $678. One off. I'm so sorry. One more.
Last one.
All right, this is it.
Last one. I'll shake them up really good. This is it.
Who wants to win?
634.
You are dismissed to the lobby for lemonade and cookies.